They murder us with a stripped away. No quítale, no queda.
Work all night and a drink rum. Daylight come and one go home. Banana till it come. Daylight and one go home. Mr. Tallyman, banana. Come and me one go home. Come, Tallyman, banana. Come and me one go home. Live 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 bunch. Come and me one go home. 6, 7 foot, 8 foot, one. Daylight man, me one go. Day is a day. Daylight come and one go home.
Moment aside, watch them die live. They say wrong if they kill you with your eye. Question if mine's open. Over spacious skies, I just merely telling.
Kahaja, where get my chulahu. Biyashi Chidiki, Nababa. What's up, my good? My name is Christian Parrish the Gun, aka Superman. Come from the Alligator Nation right here in Montana. The Crow Nation's translation of our people. It's an honor today to be able to open up in a good way for Mr. B's birthday. Yeah, it's an honor and a privilege doing work for the people and everything. So I wanted to open up in a good way prayer. This prayer will be in the Apsala language. Let's pray. Akbaratiya Bajam Balay Lagos. Dice Shah Bapta Chesh Bahiwi Balay Wahamid Karikta, Wachajistik, Alit Gata Balay Allah, Echeshkaram Chiju, Amalabashkulek, Konakosh, Hoho Nawaba, Biligiwi Waihadi, Bihahili, Akelela Golak, Shbabiro, Akhbagolek, Age Bila, Awashbawata, Unmawata, Blayasala. We also acknowledge the land. The land that I stand on in this area is the land of my ancestors, the Aluga. So we to acknowledge the homes and the caretaker, the first caretaker of this land, and all over wherever you are, United States, the caretakers of this land, which was indigenous people, and so pray that one day that would be bestowed unto them once again. The caretakers of this land. So,
happy birthday, Mr. Belafonte. You know you've delighted the people all over the world. Sure, acclaimed her. You know how much I love and admire and adore. And I got one of the highlights this past year is singing and dancing to Deo in the kitchen and having you reach out to me afterwards about it. I just cherish you and I celebrate your for incredible here on earth. There wouldn't be a path forward for me had you helped to make it. So my heart, soul, all of me says thank you for being you all these years. Happy night.
Shake, shake, shake your body liner. Shake, 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 Sinora. Shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora. Work your body line. Work, work.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Haddish.
And I go by the name of Shawty God. What's happening?
And we want to welcome you to the gathering, Harry, the 90th birthday celebration, legendary Mr. Harry Belafonte. What some of you don't know is celebration is actually a surprise for Mr. Belafonte. For months, some of his friends, family members have been planning this star-studded, and we're excited to have each of you join in on this celebration. If we were in person, I'm gonna tell you right now, if we were in person, I'm sure we would be listening to calypso music, and bottles of champagne in honor of Mr. Belafonte's legacy. Like what? But we are honored celebrating with his family, his colleagues and comrades all across the nation.
Right. Mr. Belafonte is a grandfather, husband, mentor, friend, songwriter, actor, activist, most importantly, inspiration. Not only to him, but to an entire generation of entertainers, activists, and vegetarians. From his humble beginnings to being the first to sell 1 million L, the King of Calypso has a life, breaking and fighting for transformative justice.
Mr. Belafonte has poured his heart to us through his music, film, and commitment to social change. I don't know about y'all, but my favorite song is Deo, 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 come and me want go home.
Hey.
His music career, which has reached millions of people, is unparalleled, spanning over 7 decades, which has, I don't know about y'all, it has inspired me, okay? I plan on doing my thing for 7 decades or more, too. Mr. B has also starred in and produced some of our most treasured films, including Carmen Jones, Island in the Sun, Buck and the Preacher, and Uptown Saturday Night, to name a few.
That's right. While many know him for his art, we have all been impacted by activism. Mr. Belafonte was really impacted by this actor and his comrade, Paul Robeson, through these to be, as many of us call, stood against racial prejudice, apartheid, and has used that platform to propel civil, human, and women's rights through his terrorism and persist in an effort to see liberation in our times. Tonight, we will also celebrate an organization that was founded by Mr. Belafonte, the Gathering for Justice. And also tonight, we'll ensure Gathering for Justice's lead is as rich as Belafonte's. Every gift tonight will go towards a mission to fight against youth incarceration, continue to create a pipeline for youth activists, and continue the legacy of justice. But you will hear more from their president, CEO, the homie, Carmen Perez, in just a few moments.
So tonight, Mr. B, this event is just for you. And we have invited many of your friends, your children and grandchildren to celebrate with us. Tonight, Mr. B, you are going to be hearing from some of your friends and comrades, including Diane Nash, Danny Glover, Carlos Santana, Angela Davis, Susan Maxwell, Usher, Susan Sarandon, Bette Midler, Steve Abrams, Robert Smith, Senator Bernie and Jane Sanders, Abdul-Jabbar, Jim Harrison, Derek Johnson, Tamika D. Mallory, Chuck D., and many, many more.
You will also hear performances from some mentees and admirers, including Ajamo, Yako Yubusko, My Sandro, Aloe Black, Superman, and last but not least, his dear friend, host committee member, Tiffany's Boo. And finally, we will be honoring outstanding individuals who stand in the legacy of the Ring for Justice and Mr. B, including youth activists, civil rights leaders, Gatekeeper of Truth Award, presented to none other than John Jay-Z Carter.
But before we get this started, we want to thank all of our sponsors who not only made it possible, but have ensured the Gathering for Justice is continue Mr. Bella's legacy. We also want a huge shout out to for partnering with us and to our visionary sponsor, the Hope F. Smith family, Change Agent sponsor, Peach, and sustaining sponsors, Frontline Solutions, and the National Ball Player Association Foundation. But those aren't the only sponsors. We are also counting each and every one of y'all. All of y'all, okay? We know many of you freedom fighters out there. One way you also contribute to the movement is to the Game for Justice. Give them dollars. Tonight, we are also looking to raise $5 million in donations. So text HB90 to 4321 to donate right, and we will be doing live giveaways, shout outs throughout the show. And for those of you who are following on social media, make sure to hashtag The Gathering for Harry and follow The Gathering for this on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Celebrate Mr. Belafonte all over the internet. Are you ready to get this party started? All right. Let us honor his legacy by learning a little more about his 7 decades of art and activism.
Here is one of the great artists of our country and one of the great artists of the world. Here is Harry Belafonte.
And one day, Paul Robeson came there to see me and simply said, them to sing your song, and they'll want to know who you are.
You'd see Harry Belafonte TV, and you'd call your neighbor colored on TV and let them know because it was so rare.
When Belafonte went on the show with Petula, they touched.
Flipped the whole world. People were like, oh my God.
I'm an artist, and I'm not a politician. Like most Americans, I have a great interest in the political and the economic destiny of my country.
All my life, the issues of race has been a major part of my thinking. Dr. King called me, and he said, I would like very much to have a chat. Take long. At the end of almost 4 hours, we emerged from the room, and I knew then that I would forever be in his service. And I understood the length of our journey and how perilous it would be.
And I think Harry motivated Martin in many ways because here's a man who didn't have to get involved and who did.
He was always left to do something.
Harry did this over and over and over and over and over again.
I'd just come back from the meeting with Nelson Mandela when I saw on the television screen a breaking news story. I saw a 5-year-old girl being handcuffed and eventually shackled. Her charge was that she had been unruly. I was caught with how immoral this picture was. What had come to? What is going on here? Hundreds and hundreds of children have been consistently incarcerated, have been consistently handcuffed.
Hold her hands.
That's our child. And that child is in terror.
Guess what?
And we have no right to ignore that and to get distracted. And so I've called a meeting, the gathering of the elders, to talk about the conditions of our children they were facing. The list was vast, with popular profile, politicians, civil rights leaders, ministers.
Our children need you. They need us. They've been waiting for.
One speaker after the other got and spoke with passion and clarity.
We started talking about the children, and that's what about. And I say, what do we do? Over the years, I've come to places like this so many times. And I leave without assignment. We need an assignment.
I began to understand that the thing I thought that I'd do next was to perhaps call the gathering of the... There, perhaps, would lay the key. When they asked me what was the agenda, it dawned on me that the agenda really was, with them, to find the agenda. Those of us who were part of the civil rights movement, as we grew older, as our victories began to evidence themselves, I think we blinked. We took for granted. I don't think we secured the way in which we passed on the baton.
We can't be shut up no more.
Y'all suffer from the same oppression.
You could find solutions where the young reside.
Talk about movement building.
What are we going to do?
These young people spoke truth to power.
It's not us that representing, it's the youth and the voices of the youth that can't be represented here. They're locked up.
Our kids are waiting for us to change the unjust system.
15 years ago,
the agenda was to find the agenda. We have found the agenda.
Hi, Harry. Oh, we wanted so much to be a part of the celebration, but he's been feeling a little bit down lately. Ever since finding your room, he found out that you weren't related to her, and something that his father told him when he was a little boy, and that was a source of pride for him. So, Pam, I hope you'll forgive me. I had to tell him. I kept it a secret all this time, but I had to tell him that he is related to you through your side.
Now, massive relief. Really, Pam, to hear that I am part of your tribe. And that combined with the fact is related to on her Jamaican side, going back about 5 generations or so. That kind of all of us double in-laws.
so happy to have you in our life.
And in our family.
Right. We love you, Harry. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Mr. Belafonte is nothing short of extraordinary. In 2005, Mr. B witnessed a news report of a 5-year-old girl being handcuffed and arrested in her classroom for unruly, and he could stand for it. That's why he and other leaders came through to create the Gathering for Justice. Mr. B couldn't lead this organization himself. He needed a Renaissance woman, and that's what he found in Carmen Perez Jordan. Carmen has dedicated her life and career to ensure civil rights for all through criminal justice reform and ending incarceration, violence, racial healing, community policing, and gender equality. As the president and chief executive officer of the Gathering for Justice, she has crossed the globe promoting peace through civil and human rights, working internationally and domestically. Some of the most prominent leaders enact change. As the co-founder of the Justice League NYC and say, she has a deep commitment to the juvenile and criminal justice reform. We could go on and on about her all night, okay? I can do it. But here's the deal. She is a mother, wife, activist, and community leader who is deeply committed to this work. I am proud and honored to introduce incomparable President and CEO of the Gathering for Justice, Carmen Perez Jordan.
Thank you so much to that beautiful introduction. So happy to be here tonight. Life and legacy, my mentor, and the Gathering for Justice, Harry Belafonte. I want to welcome everyone to tonight and thank you for tuning in. Like Tiffany mentioned, for this celebration only a few short weeks ago. We're so blessed to have been able to fabulous and star-studded show with the help of many people. Imagine 9 years of living for the people as we celebrate Mr. B, celebrating 5th movement building with the justice. Before this, I want to share with you from youth leader to CEO. 15 years ago, when Mr. B was Gathering for Justice, the first thing he did was bring young leaders to set the agenda for. As the last video, I was one of those young people at Epps, Alabama in 2005. On Epps, we this connection between our elder and the youth at a time when to be more united than ever. This tension illuminated just how an organization like for justice would be, built on the wisdom of those that us with the energy of the new future. In creating space, we change lives, including my own. Now we're going to take a look back at the last 15 years of my life, starting when I accepted these clarion calls intergender.
I stand here as a Chicana Mexican-American woman, as a daughter and granddaughter of farm workers, as a family member of integrated and undocumented people, a survivor of violence.
As a child, I probably shouldn't have experienced a lot of things that I did. Violence surrounded me, and I was really angry, and I carried a lot of that anger. Ultimately, I channeled into wanting to the world.
There were 12-year-old young people that were being locked up, and my heart couldn't take anymore.
We could not lose another life. We could do this together. Young people do not belong in adult facilities.
The Gathering for Justice
was founded to change the landscape criminal justice system from front end to the back, from police brutality to incarceration. I brought my peers together in 2014 to create something new for our generation, Justice League NYC. Our first objective was to end Roland lockdown, a 3-day juvenile justice conference in New York City, bringing together 800 to discuss solutions on how to reform the criminal justice system. We brought experts.
Changing the narrative for me is essential to criminal justice.
Students, artists, activists, mentors, families, and victims of incarceration. I want us to change the hearts and minds, to change legislation, to build the beloved community that Dr. King dreamed of. It's about going directly to the source.
We are marching from New York City to D.C. We are marching with 3 bills. We are marching on the shoulders of our elders. We are marching with the strength of those that face injustice every single day. But I want to say we couldn't do this alone.
And we will continue to fight, seek justice for all people, especially our children.
When I see my liberation, found in your liberation, and you and mine, together we will get free. So remember, when you go back home, think about why you marched.
Mr. Belafonte reminds me that this lived beyond him because that all ropes and taught him. Then we have sat to Tubman in his time with Dr. Jr. I've learned so much work in legacy. Often reminded me that as he passed the baton, that I'm bridge between youth and elder. I'm to remind people that they're for them. Meanwhile, creating people to come into this work to build community joyfully. As you can, in the past 15 years, I've met some of the most individuals through our work that are now being an extended now we call family. Great enthusiasm that I share with you. A connection to the team that makes dream work.
My position is the campaigns and leadership.
I've been with Justice NYC since 2014.
Senior regional organizer based here in Kenya.
I've been gathered since 2014.
I am the program administrator officer to the gathering.
And I'm chief operating officer.
I have been at the gathering since its inception. And I CEO and president.
Mr. Belafonte started with Dr. King when he was 20 years old. Is that right? 26, okay. That's right.
The thing that is so incredible about Harry Belafonte was that he was intersectional. Before people were talking about that, before Kimberly Crenshaw came up with that term, that's what he was, that's what he did. He, even at the founding of the Gathering for Justice.
Our young people are one of the most important pieces to the movement. You know, when I think about Mr. Harry Belafonte, when he gathered the elders, he recognized that we also needed to gather the young people.
And one thing that Mr. Belafonte tells us is that we're responsible for our generation. And that's that young people really need to understand that, you know, we have to study the past and, you know, they have to carry on that time and just make sure not to follow mistakes and be responsible for your action. It's not about movements, it's about the movement.
So the Gathering for Justice is an intergenerational, intercultural, social organization that is rooted in nonviolence and spirituality. League for me, manifestation for to build and collective power. It was real space for us to come together with our full selves. Artists, people who were directly impacted by incarceration or victims of incarceration, people who had been harmed, came together, Voltron across the country.
And sort of bringing young people into this space, supporting with organizing efforts. That's why I sort of love the Gather so much. They know that young people up and want to continue to organize.
I have the privilege of building out Sleep California. It's us. It's those to the issues most impacted and really ending police brutality. I oftentimes say that we are our own experts around these issues. We really organize and mobilize young people and fight in the interswing policy and grassroots organizing.
The world really needs to know that the Gathering for Justice, considering everyone, knows that there's a place for everyone, and is really committed to freedom and liberation for all people.
And I believe what Belafonte does so beautifully that he provides them for you. He provides a canvas, and it's really responsibility to figure out how to get the paint the picture for next generation. It's really a place for others. We are able to incubate movement, the Women's March, like Take the Knee, Free Meek Mill, cultivate the leadership. So many people that into our door.
As Carmen likes to say, you have to have multiple courageous conversations with people. If you want to create the beloved, and you got to pull people to the cause.
One of the things that Tor said to me very early was the word sawabona. I see Swahili.
It just showed the power of organizing, and that sort of gave me energy and willpower to continue up. I knew my brother was a person who had experienced this. I had to do the work.
Impact that the Justice has on directly impacted people, on people who have lost loved ones to police violence, on people who have experienced mass incarceration, centers and uplifts those people. That's at the core of all of the work at the Gathering.
I'm still overwhelmed. I come from being in prison just seven days ago.
Work, when it works, there's so many places where people get involved, and it has a positive influence for the rest of it. It's worked over the years with a prison program Mr. B is very close to up at Sing Sing. There has been 0% recidivism. That's huge.
I believe there is a place for everyone, and I think that is something that we embody as an organization.
The electricity of people working together and feel that movement in the people.
We see no justice served.
Your support for the Gathering for Justice will allow us to scale and expand our work to build the next generation of young leaders.
A lot of what the bar has had major impact, really because our great asset organization is an asset. However, we do need in order to pay people their worth. Freedom is not free.
Help increase capacity to respond to people who are fighting state violence, systemic justice.
When we think about who the beloved is, it's courageous people. I think that the beloved community really embodies people who are to be bold and not sit on the sideline.
Hello, I'm Bette Midler, and I'm so thrilled beyond belief to wish one of the Americans of my a happy birthday to Belafonte, one of my favorite people in the entire world. Content just to be gorgeous, glass sex symbol, and a great musician. He took upon a career of humanism and activism, saved so many lives, and so many lives so much better than they were. To say happy birthday to me means very little. Say happy birthday from the thousands of people who love him, who adore his lives he has improved, to say really something. Birthday from me and from all to Harry. We're so thrilled, and I want to say a special note. I am so that I was alive. We were alive, and I could watch you. You stood as a beacon, and you stood as a role model, and for that I will be forever grateful. Birthday to you, now and forever.
Hello, Harry. It's Marty Scorsese, and I'm in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Finally, that film I was supposed to do a year or so ago, and I heard it's your birthday. I just wanted to wish you the happiest, Harry, and your life and your has been an inspiration in my generation, generations to come. It always will be. So have as great a birthday as you can. I hope to see you soon when we get out there.
The work at the Gathering for Justice is rooted in intergenerational relations. We honor the work of our elders and the energy of the youth. The rights movement to Black Lives. Mr. B's legacy continues, and the generation behind me. My legacy is to continue seeds, bring devastation of the seeds that Mr. in the civil rights today. And so I'm honored and proud to introduce a young rising star, Black feminist with the revolutionary analysis unparalleled, who came for justice through Justice League and is still a proud member. She has sat of myself and Mr. B being to take the baton herself. Please join me in my mentee, the fabulous Baker.
Thank you so much, Carmen. It makes me so emotional. I was first introduced to Gathering for Justice for you, and so I'm always humbled to sit with you. As my friend teacher, Carmen Perez exposed me to intergenerationships and the power in passion. I had known the name Harry Belafonte as both an artist and a political leader, but it wasn't the honor of sitting at his feet, his stories first, that I began to understand how much of a giant he truly is and how much he epitomized while you climb. For a 20-year-old Black to be told by a then 10-year-old civil rights icon and world-class entertainer that she too was necessary for the sake of this moment, absolutely life-changing. And he didn't do that only for me. He reached out to so many others to be sure that they knew that behind them, up for us physically and financially, ways that anyone can count. Those former youth leaders are now on lines in every. He taught us to never mission and to honor the insiders. This is the Mr. B's legacy that I will most cherish. Mr. B through Paul Robeson, and he lessons on to Carmen Perez, who passed them on to me. I'm honored to be a part of his legacy and to introduce this that demonstrates exactly been blessed to glean up close. Before we get into the next award, I'm here to honor Belafonte through a special. Please welcome social justice activist Monet.
Enemies I will fight. Enemies I will fight. My enemies I will fight. My enemies I will fight.
Hello, my name is Aja Monet, a poet and organizer, and I'm honored with you all to celebrate a master social worker, someone who is committed to their craft as a pursuit of justice. Belafonte's art is inseparable from his values, and I create a legacy, Mr. B. So many who came before me, you symbol of devotion, tension, your life ceremony for our freedom. Here's a poem for you. Praise death, then so, and hear you like a flash, all that conspired in the universe to wonder you into existence, all flows through you, through us. Harry, in every seeking art and beauty and justice, and we carry your dimple carefully across like buckets of water, earth-colored roads in a soul song. You are our Deo, our in the sun, and cherished a charm, all our wrists raised in the of our pain and pleasure, a lime, a performing in the theater of yes, echoum, ancestral standing ovation. Every show is a ceremony gathering of what is just and possible. The dry eye in the house we seat because there you are. Tender magnet of meaning, embodiment of mass spirit that radiates and glows in a glance far by faith. Thank you for living, loving, for simply being enough. A library of sacred pages and poems, Brother Thompson and King and Dan and all it's a brother you've been. Movement made honest, truth telling, handsome. Praise the day you were born and who made you possible. These parts, yours is our day, a holy sacrament. We celebrate all you have endured to be who you were to be. Bless your calling, listening, you're now on the right side of history, still with us, still shepherding with us, still never alone with us, a way forward for choosing a life, gives a life that cares, a daring dream in this nightmare, fellow of truth, happy being here with us always. To another day. Happy birthday, me.
Wow, that was powerful, Aja. This the Gathering for Justice, celebrating 15 years advocating with and for youth justice. If you are feeling inspired by the legacy of this, we want to encourage folks who are watching us by donating $94 in honor of Mr. Belafonte. There are a bunch of ways to give, but you can also text 894 to 4421. As you see videos, Mr. B's legacy ensures that intergenerational leadership is at the center of building power and racial solidarity. From marching with the Dream to Florida to advocating for Africa, Mr. B believes that we all have the power to make change. This year, Gathering for Justice is honoring two individuals with the Youth Justice Award. Sochi Laros and Kiyaja, aka KJ the Actress. The Youth Justice is an award given to a youth organizer or activist who is deep rooted in community and the values of the Gathering for Justice. This award is offered to organizers under 25 carry the legacy of justice and are committed to carrying the legacy of activism. Let's hear from Mr. B on why youth activism is so vital today.
In the final analysis, each generation must be responsible for itself. So all I can do is to leave behind the crumbs of my experience. I have a trail that you can follow. If you find value in it, pick it up. And if you don't, do something better. You have been given a great set of tools and a great history to work with. Time to roll up your sleeves, get back and shape the agenda for your day, for your time.
Please welcome Sochi Laros and Kiyaja, the activist Brooke.
Hi everyone, I'm Sochi Larios. I am extremely excited to be accepting this award right now. The opportunity to be highlighting amazing work done by our youth, especially around the SB 820, which is the DJJ here in California, the youth prison. And there's a lot of amazing work uplifting the youth voices. So it's really to be here in this space, partnership with you here. And what I want to bring is that when you incarcerate a young person about their future and think of the brain development not being until the age of 20. So give me a second chance, believe, because in Alameda County, I'm the one representing falling back, and especially our Black and youth who have been marginal, pushed out from many opportunities. So thank you very much and for believing in us.
Thank you, the Gathering for Justice, Mr. Harry Belafonte Award. I'd like family, friends, common ancestors who all led the way and our ability to show up unapologetically in this fight for liberation. And it is truly an honor to be able to be in community with amazing individuals who are all fighting towards the liberation of Black people. Black radical tradition is not an easy, it is one steeped in hard work, showing up, speaking truth to power, oftentimes really dangerous at the hands of government and people in power. We're still going to show up anyways and do what needs done to ensure that we, oppressed people, are able to serve without fear of death and with fear of return for simply existing. So all for this award, it is truly an honor.
Hey, happy birthday, Mr. Harry Belafonte.
I can't tell you what you're to me and so many others, but speaking for myself, I was a girl. Actually, I was 7 in 1980, and a very special teacher who saw I was more in the creative world, more in the creative, and told me, hey, you remind me of a young Harry Belafonte. From that day forward, I had someone to look up to, and that person was you. I love you with all my heart, all of our conversations throughout the years, how you've given me strength and encouragement to continue with my creative endeavors, how you've moved me into activism, how you've put me on point. It's what I need to be doing as a Black man, Latino, Haitian, to uplift and uprise the community. Love you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. I love you, Mr. B. Happy birthday.
When we asked Belafonte's friends to wish him birthday, his friends from the globe wanted to come through and break. Please welcome Horror Master from Yakoyu Sissoko.
My name is Sissoko. Today to wish a very happy to the greatest, the best of the best, the wonderful person that I ever met, Belafonte.
Look, Harry, it's his birthday, and I'm saying to you, happy birthday. Look, Harry, it's his birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Harry, it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. I love you, my boo. Happy birthday.
I love you so much, I admire you so much, and I wish the best birthday ever.
Hi, Harry, it's Christiane in London, in my kitchen. Wish I could make you a special birthday meal. But I want to tell you that I love you. You're my friend, my teacher, and my hero. Sending so much love to you, Harry.
Harry, you are my hero, my inspiration, my mentor, and most importantly, all I can say is happy birthday! Oh, I love you.
Happy birthday, Harry. My father joins me in this birthday greeting. 2 generations of us having counted you as ally, mentor, and friend. You personify our activism, are an example of a life of purpose, conviction. Thank you for all you have done and continue to advance justice. Your song echoes across the world.
To the man, the myth, the legend, it is an honor to be in the world that you created, to the world with you. Happy 94th day from me, Phil Agnew, from all the Dream Defenders, from a generation of young people whose lives you've touched. It's an incredible, incredible honor to live in the world you created. I love you. Happy birthday.
Hey, Harry, Ira, a very happy birthday to the sharpest and youngest person I know.
To my dear friend, Harry Belafonte, Mr. B, you've done so much, you've helped me, you've sacrificed for so many of us, and that truly is committed to justice and equality. One, we all love you, wish you a very happy 94th day.
Happy birthday, Harry. 9 years? I can hardly believe it. You are a widower for me in how to live meaningfully and how to love well.
Years out of those 94, we've been friends. And your friendship has meant everything. Happy birthday, Harry.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happiness. 4th birthday, Mr. B. This is James Early and family thanking you for being a moral guide, a citizen artist, global square, showing us the way towards a new humanity. We step forward into the future. Respect the Early family.
Never be able to repay you. We're always going to keep trying. Happy birthday. Love you.
Hello, Mr. B. Happy birthday. On behalf of myself and the entire Color of Change family. You know, your life, your work is such an incredible example for all of us. The sacrifices that you made in service of fighting for a better tomorrow provide light in times of darkness and provide a roadmap for all of us that want to be of service.
Happy Belafonte. Big up yourself, Harry. Yes, Harry.
Happy birthday, Miss B. Treasure to us all, inspiration. My name is Ebro Darden for everybody. Carmen, you know, team. For justice. It's been an honor to work with y'all, support y'all. And Mr. Happy birthday.
Hey, boss. Happy birthday. I love you. I can't wait to see you. My family sends their love. And, man, we're born. Love you, boss.
It is truly a blessing to wish very happy birthday of love to you, a great human rights leader, a phenomenal and a dear friend.
Hi, Harry. Delighted to have this opportunity to wish you a very 94th birthday. In a little while since we've managed to, but if this thing is over soon, hopefully we'll get together before. In the meantime, a real great day.
It wasn't hard to get folks to wish Mr. B a happy day because he is truly a legend. Through Mr. Belafonte's plight for equality and solidarity, he had many co-conspirators and mentees along the way. Mr. B truly believes in leadership of the 3 activists receiving this next award. Not only in a long line of freeloaders, but their contributions to shifting and changing societies is unparalleled. The Legacy Award honors individuals who ignite change and achieved a lifetime of service in their communities, organizations, and in the world. Created in honor of Harry Belafonte, the Legacy Award is bestowed on distinguished individuals, leaders, and change makers. Tonight, we all honor 3 of those people. George Gresham, president of 1199 SEIU, United Workers East, the largest union in New York and the largest healthcare union in the nation. Patrick Gasp, lifelong community activist, diplomat, and former president of the Open Society Foundations, and Brian Stevenson, lawyer, social justice activist, author, law professor, founder, and executive director of the Equal Justice Initiative. Let's hear what Mr. B says about legacy leaders.
If anybody had told me that after Dr. King's murder, after the murder of Bobby Kennedy, and all the upheavals of the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, that today now we would still be at the gate, issues of race and vote, I wouldn't have believed it. But the truth of the matter is that the enemy does sleep. Reactionary people always seem to have resources and power to constantly be tearing away at the heart of truth, tearing down the advances that we made, and us having to go back and rebuild these monuments to survival yet again. We'll just have to get on with the choice.
Please welcome George Gresham, Patrick Gabbard, and Brian Stevenson.
My name is George Gresham, President 99 SEIU. I just want to say that this is an extreme honor to its Legacy Award icon and who I admired all of my life. Someone who, meaning folks, he is inspiration to all, but particularly to people of color, of the oppression that we face both in the United States and around the world. Mr. B has been an inspiration to all. Look at the celebrity and the talent that he has. It would be the average person feel complete. But for Mr. B, it was just an instrument to bring greater awareness to the large society and what it's been so generous and ability to help and to touch, bring all peoples together. You look at his resume, it includes all people, dimensions, a role, and all the diaspora. I think of sin that emulates, means to be leader. The attribute to be is that he has forgotten his humanity, nor has he forgotten his humble beginnings. And I am so grateful. I'm not quite sure that I deserve legacy named after someone done so much for mankind. I absolutely and want to, my good friend, my Mr. B, a 90th birthday. Mr. I love you. I love all done. People, I've shared with you that in 1960, I was sitting in the living room with my parents and my siblings watching on our black and white the burial of Dr. Luther King. And I remember a time that my father said, boy, Belafonte is really sticking family. I said that I had the honor of meeting with you, and share that image of, and you have been total inspiration. I don't know many people that even deserve to have that you have, but earned every bit of those 9 years, sir. It is a life living. You are always I just wish you be a very birthday. You continue this by here to guide us and inspire us. I love you, Mr. B.
Thank you, family. Thank gathering. Thank you to Carmen for stewardship, but also stewardship of this notion, meaning across generations, purpose, a shared and with conjoined spirit. Now, I have to say, I'm then humbled to be a community, particular communion with my big brother, George Gresham and Brian Stevens. I should never have with them in honorific. I'll use this as an inspiration to be spurred on towards a nation of their good works. I'm usually like Jack Honors, but this one is affixed to celebration of my hero, my mentor, my dearest Mr. B. There's no saying no. Heartfelt greetings to Pam, adores barbed charm legend with her own considerable growth. My man, Mr. B, happy. You arrive at the year with a greater accumulation of wisdoms, but no diminishment. Spark of radical embedded in your DNA. It's essential to who you and what your life's journey presents. And as recent hits us, it's a ness that's still much in a world rife with hunger or reft of justice. We're living through an unprecedented that robs us of freedoms. There's also a revolution that sharpens us for the future while compelling to re-intake traumas and trauma of the past. This as an age of difference, and for some of us, age of Black nature. Mr. B, search our collective memory to understand we've arrived here as the beloved community of Dr. Keening's. For all of us, an awareness of your presence manifest in creativity and your high song. You've soldered us together weak joints and taught that a nation can only be a fist. Mr. B, you have a lifelong for the work of John Stein. Your arc reminds of that of Tom Joad, protagonist hero of The Grapes of Wrath, who at the very end of the passage says to friends, his family, around in the dark, everywhere, Wherever you can look, wherever there's a fight, maybe people can eat, I'll be there. Wherever there's a cop and a guy, I'll be in the way guys yell mad. I'll be kids laugh when they're hungry and the food's ready. And when the people eating the stuff they raise, living in the houses they build, I'll be there. You've been there as our architect, ripple of hope, and we're proud always to be testimony. Thank you, my king. Be hard for your birthday. I can now turn it over to Ryan Stevenson.
Well, thank you so much. Mr. B, it's such an honor to have the opportunity to express my gratitude to you, for you. I just want to celebrate birthday. I also want to express my real thanks for being recognized in this community. There's so many people in this space who I love and I get to work with. Tonight, I just want to say to you how grateful I am that you allowed me to be in your, I've sat next to you meetings in Harvard. We've talked on the phone about how to overcome some of the challenges that we're facing. You brought your home and filled my head and my heart with all amazing stories about your time with Dr. King and many others. You have inspired, mostly you have encouraged me. And for that, I want to say thank you. So many of us standing on your shoulders tonight, and we know that so much more with less than we've been given. Because of that, I just affirm the power of witness, the power of spirit, the power of song, the power of your voice. I'm in Montgomery, and I am full that I'm standing on the shoulders of a nation of people who were their Sunday best and go knowing that they were going to get beaten and bloodied, and you went anyway. I have not forgotten that witness. What I want to say to you tonight is that I feel you, I hear you, and I receive encouragement that you have given. And I just want you to know, in my small way, with my small organ, we are going to end mass incarceration in this country. We will not until every child has been placed in an adult jail or prison. We are going to and crush this pipe from schoolhouses to jail. Mr. B, I want you to know we're going to stop until the death penalty is abolished, until new ways to treat and services to the mentally ill and been dispossessed and marginal. I want you to know we're going to call this to account. Genocide of indigenous people when Europeans came to this. We're going to push this country to edge. The horrors and brutality, enslavement, narratives of white supremacy that can haunt us today. We're going to insist that America, the legacy, the trauma, the terror of lynching, not allow this country undermine the weight, the suffering caused by the legal that was segregation. Those signs all too well said white and colored weren't, they were assaults they've created. And we're going to call this to account for those injuries. We're going to ask and demand repair. We will not accept the position of dangerousness and guilt that can burden and menace Black and people. We cannot accept the violence and the trauma that to follow this legacy that account. We are going to insist an era of justice. And Mr. B, I want you to know, confident saying on these things because you have taught me critical and value. What you have taught me that sometimes you have to stand, people say sit down. Taught me that sometimes you speak even when people say, because of what you've taught me, I'm going to fight. And I want you to know, fight with your song in my heart. I know, you know, righteousness is the enemy of justice. And so I'm going to embrace the hope you've given to so many. And I'm going to do what I can, and I can share it with others. And that we can represent what you represent, which is a demand lived in service of justice. I know you've sung this so many times, you probably can't. But I want you to know I still singing We Shall Come, and I want you to know I'm joining with yours, and I believe we shall come too. And so I want to say happy birthday to you. I want to dreadful pandemic. I hope to see you, give you a hug. I hope to tell you person how much I love you, how much I'm thankful for you, how much I'm grateful, and how much I cherish you and what you've done for the tree. Happy birthday, me. I love you. I'm with you, and thank you.
It's the 90th birthday of Harry Belafonte. Who cares? The last time I saw this dude, he had a wife on his lap, and he was like kissing her in the mouth. Me too. But that was just a cover. Harry Belafonte is a world historical Galilean mode. You're acting like he's Paul Roland embodiment for the 20th, acting like he fundamentally the possibility of Black artistic and joined that to actors that led him to side by with Martin Luther King. Okay, all that might be true. He makes people's wives for him. That ain't right.
Well, are you sticking to the script?
Yes, dear Mr. Belafonte, so grateful to you all. you have done to make our lives better. Like that?
I like that, but Harry, this is your song in this line. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Belafonte. Happy birthday to you.
She's in love with that dude from Bridget, and it don't make no difference.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday, Belafonte.
Happy birthday, Harry.
Whatever.
Congratulations to all of the Giants who received Mr. B's Legacy Award. Their legacy has the opportunity to continue, and that is by supporting Gathering for Justice. In honor of Mr. B's 94th birthday, we encourage folks to give $94. There are means to give, but the easiest is HB94 to 4321. Mr. Fonte has made an undeniable impact on activism globally, but his impact and roots in New York City family run deep. Please welcome one of Mr. B's activists, co-host of the Street Politician Cast, co-founder of Freedom, rapper and League NYC member, my guy, my son, the new general, and he'll be followed co-performer of the song Leave, Karis Love.
Me too. It's my song. It started with a vision, the kids out of prison, so he convened the youth and then they begin on the mission of find the agenda, the current conditions.
I sat and talked to a legend I eagerly listened. He told me how he marched with Dr. King because he did his mission. He invested his money and his time to change our positions, and all I could think as I heard this man speak with conviction is, I have the right to do nothing. Because Harry Belafonte sacrificed for people. So if he decided nothing, then where would I be? You see, he was just content with celebrity status. There wouldn't be a Just League or Black Lives Matter. I don't have the right to do nothing because we stand on the shoulders of our elders. We got to continue their fight against a system that failed us. Mr. B tells us, drills in our mind, we got to carry that torch. You see, this is our time. Justice is a crime. It's about execution. And those directly impacted must be the solution. So I don't have the right to do nothing. I'm on the mission. I'm screaming till they listen. Let the king die for freedom. I'm carrying tradition. My people in justice, I'm carrying that petition. Police is out here killing us. We're going to need some more evictions. Peaceful and passive are not the same thing. Know the difference. You are not supposed to lay down and die with no resistance. So I don't have the right to do nothing. I don't have the right to fight for my life. It's a gift from God. So with all my might, I will protect my freedom, my family, my home. I know y'all fight with me. Y'all leave me alone. So my feet get weary and I can no longer run. I just think of the babies that die by the gun. And I say, I don't have the right to do nothing.
The thing I thought that I had to do next was to perhaps call a gathering. There perhaps would lay the key. And they asked me what was the agenda. It dawned on me that the agenda really was with them to find the agenda.
Been fighting for a long time, and the battle ain't won. For a long time, and the battle ain't won.
My name is Karis Love, and I'm a proud member of Justice League IC, which is an extension of the Gathering for Justice. He came to me and asked if I write a song for the movement. Carmen, that I am a songwriter for many years, and if I would take this on, curate this song for the movement. Immediately I said yes. It is a song that is just for the current movement, but also it is a song that brings together the generational movement. So myself, my song, Jackie Cruz and FIFA got together. Created this art, as I call it, probably within 8 hours in the studio. It was really important that the song had a couple of things. One, Baptist school chords in the beginning. That was important for Carmen to have that, as Black church is a major part, has been a major part of our movement. But then she also wanted a hip hop feel, and she said specifically, I want it so hard, and I knew exactly when she said that. And so we together in the beginning of the song, Mr. B's voice, you hear a short monologue in the song with a short monologue, Carmen, and that's how we have our elders and our men now coming through. Mr. B always says that they leave you breadcrumbs. Every generation is responsible for their own revolution. So there's also the mix of the Black and Brown unity song with Jackie vocals and my vocals going back and forth, English and Spanish. He for his entire verse and my son starting the song as best that he is. And this song was really important for me, not just as a member of this league, but the movement kid myself, Dana was a fighter for Black Panther, and now as Perez mentee, it's really important for me to use my platform to give something back to men. And so that's how we've been to curating, I believe, and it is my honor to be able to give this and be part of that Mr. King and others built, and is something that I hope the movement listen when we win victories and even when we just as an inspiration. So it's with my great pleasure to present this to Mr. B, wish him a birthday and thank him for allowing this like myself to stand on the shoulders of giants like him. Happy birthday, B.
Stripped away, quita esencia, stripped away, nunca para valencia.
Years ago, the agenda was to find the agenda. We have found the agenda.
Happy birthday, Harry. Harris wanted to take this opportunity to wish you not only a happy birthday, but to thank not only for the great entries of my lifetime, but for the decades work you have done in terms of social justice, economic justice, and justice. You have your name, you've used goodwill to stand with people whose voices are not heard, and you've had a youth on the civil rights movement, on creating a world of peace, movement for economic justice. So thank you so much for what you have done. Look forward to seeing the years to come as well.
And I just like your incomparable voice for social justice, for justice. Always civil, always searching for solutions, remains a inspiration to so many generations. I thank you for being a founding of the Sanders Institute. You embody everything we believe in, and we look to working with you in the years to come. Happy birthday, Harry.
Happy birthday.
Mr. B's cause, civil, human, and women's in the name of solidarity has inspired so many activists to strengthen their plight for justice and freedom across all races, ethnicities, and creeds. Our next speaker is no stranger to it. She is the co-chair of the 2017 Women's March, founder of Untitled Freedom, former executive director, Arab American Association, York, founding Justice NYC member, author, Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People. Welcome, Linda Sarsour.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Charlemagne, for the great introduction. So honored to be going after one of my other favorite people in the world, Senator Bernie Sanders. I love the gatherers. As many of them, I'm also one of the founding members of the League NYC, and all of you know, it's no secret, Carmen Perez is one of the most incredible human beings that I've ever met. I'm so proud of her leadership, how to support the work of the Justice League. I have many memories of the Justice League and of the Gathering for Justice, and one that will never leave me because it might remind me all the time is our march to justice from New York, Washington, D.C., be able to carry 3P legislation across state lines, bring it to the most powerful in the United States of America to bring voice to our people, demand criminal justice reform, police accountability, and that our government reinvest in communities was one of the most memorable times in my life. I got to make family and deep family and the commitment and sacrifice of the Gathering for Justice and leader, Ms. Carmen Perez. And everybody knows how much I love Mr. Belafonte. He has been an important mentor for me. And many of you know he had the honor and privilege of writing the forward book and reminding us to give flowers to our leaders and day while they are still on this earth. I am incredibly impressed with the strict work of the Gathering for Justice, the way which they have invested in people, believing that it is their responsibility to up the next generation of activists and organizers of the country. I believe in them. I hope that you believe in them too, and need to support the important work that they do. I want say that this work is not easy, and it's not easy for people of color-led organizations to raise money. It's important for us to understand the sacrifice that goes into this, and that people and leaders of nonprofit organizations like the Gathering for Justice need to be focused on the work ahead, be focused on getting communities justice, in passing transformative legislation, in training incredible new leaders. They should not be having to spend their time also on raising money and trying to keep their doors open and try to keep the lights on. That is our job and our responsibility of all of you here today. I'm incredibly thankful and grateful to those who have donated to the Gathering for Justice. I hope that if you gave already, give again. If you bought a ticket to see all these incredible people, give a little. Giving is not just about what you can give of what you have. It's about what you have to sacrifice to give. So we want to thank today Ira Albert for her donation of $5,000, and Ebro, who's a brother of ours and a great supporter of the For Justice, for his donation of $1,000 this evening. Listen, talk about Carmen and Gathering for Justice and Mr. Belafonte for the next 2 weeks. And I pray all the time for Mr. Belafonte's health. I hope that he has long and life, that we continue to benefit from his wisdom. We're both Pisces, born during the month of March. My birthday is also coming up as well. Happy, happy, happy Mr. Belafonte. You know how I love you and we think about you often. But I could tell you Gathering, but I think also show you some of the work. And so I'm excited for you to watch this whole video to show you the great work that the Gathering for Justice does. Have a great evening.
The Gathering for Justice believes in an organizing which draws from diverse communities and utilizes our combined power to build the agenda for sustained Black liberation.
Our most transformative initiatives happen at the intersections of cultural organizing, convening people across generations and differences, organizing smart, rapid response initiatives to breaking events, and effectively organizing advocacy for policy change.
Convene people across generations and cultural differences, and we make sure that those directly impacted by the issues are at the center of what we do.
Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for bringing your stories and days.
The Gathering for Justice is intentional coalition building. It's bringing on 50 partners in one weekend to free my brother, Pedro Hernandez, or 500 partners to join the 2017 Women's March on Washington and mobilize over 5 million globally.
I am truly humbled to join and serve you as one of the national co-chairs of the Women's March, alongside my sisters, Valerie, Linda Sark, and Bob Bland.
We believe that power comes from taking care of people, not just in the work, but also in their joy and wellness.
Our intern infuses our organizing work with emotional power and resonance. The Gathering for Justice builds long-term relationships with artists, musicians, actors, athletes, and cultural tastemakers to bring them into the movement. Deeper than publicity, we provide historical grounding and pathways to the natural activist core of their work.
I'm here because you called. I'm here because I'm part of your history.
We've led campaigns to free Meek Mill.
Free who? Free who? Free who? When they free Meek, they free me, right?
We've led campaigns to take me with Colin Kaepernick.
The blackballing of Colin Kaepernick is essentially the blackballing of our people.
In actuality, we know that community-based organizations are the best ones to solve conflict.
And imagine justice with Common, just to name a few.
The Gathering for Justice has built a road to rapid work via our state organizing task forces.
If we don't get it!
Justice League NYC.
Stand here for justice.
And Justice League California.
Shame on you,
We believe that those close to the problems are closest to the solution.
No peace!
We support them in their leadership.
No peace!
Now!
What do we want?
Raise today!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it, shut it down! If you don't get it, shut it down! Guys, shut it down! Shut it down!
Our rapid response work is tied to clear policy demands, which helps reach public attention for tangible change.
The power to make a change must in public education. The Gathering for Justice has 2 long-running programs, Revolutionary Reels and Radical Reads, that feature movies and books that ground our audience in historical wisdom and create entry points in current advocacy efforts.
I'm so deeply honored.
We leverage people power and channel public attention into tangible changes that elected officials can make, building power with an inside-outside approach that wins clear policy victories.
The Gathering for Justice is the beloved community, grounded in dignity, love, justice, and collaboration.
We are what? We are the what? We are the what that move it. We are what? We are the what? We are the what that move it. We are the what? We are the what? We are the what that move it.
Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line, touch the body in time. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body.
Harry, 94, my God, I love you. And you're always there. Perspective, a historical perspective that gives me faith and courage, ability to go on when we're in a spot. And I've never anybody that could perform with grace and elegance, or with absolutely no statement and, set, and you just get up in the most eloquent, heartfelt, concise way, which I'm doing right now, but I'll just say, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you.
Happy 90th birthday, Mr. Belafonte. Kind enough in 2018 to send me a note and encourage me to keep up my fight. That note remains on my phone to this day, because your voice is carried across the generations and has always carried a theme of hope, gratitude, but of also fighting for who we are, for what we believe, and for what tomorrow can bring. It's my pleasure and joy to wish you a 94th birthday.
Hey Harry, it's Kareem. I just wanted to happy 94th birthday. Thank you for being inspiration to myself and so many others.
Hello, Harry. It's me, Patu. We've had some memories together. Very, very special. Last time I saw you was in Dublin for Amnesty International. You spoke and you were passionate, and I hope you still are and always will be. Very, very precious to us. My motto at the moment is courage, compassion. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, me. Hudson Link and our entire team sending tons of birthday wishes, going into our year. We would not today had you not and let us go.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dawana Thompson, and I'd be more honored to be here tonight, a tribute to the legendary Harry Belafonte. Over 15 years ago, I was invited as a youth leader to the annual meeting of the Gathering for Justice in Naples, Alabama. And just to be in a room led by Mr. B, it was a ground-shaking experience for me. Still rooted in my bones and present in that I do it will vote. So be happy birthday, and thank you to the Gathering including me in this epic celebration.
Harry, Harry, love you. Happy birthday today. All your friends are gathering around. I love you so much, Harry, and you're just a treasure. I adore you. Have a wonderful day, Harry. Sending you so much love. Mwah.
My dear brother Harry, words fail and language falls short of my love for you.
Happy birthday, Mr. B. I am so grateful to have a chance to share how much you've meant to me. There for me at the beginning at the shelter, where my justice journey and where your own began so many decades. You inspired, you mentored me over in one-on-one strategy sessions, taught me that we all make choices in how we better the lives of others. Always be like a star that shines bright in the leading the way future for eternity. Birthday, I love you. Stephanie loves you. Happy birthday, Mr. On behalf of us that value culture, we appreciate your creativity, more importantly, your commitment to the country better.
Happy birthday, Mr. B.
Happy birthday, Mr. B. I have a present so that I have. We're graced by the great deeds in your words, and we wish you many, many more.
Mr. B, thank you for keeping alive King's call to racism, poverty, militarism. And thank you for do it like Dr. Cole wrapped in love. Thank you for your friendship, for your mentoring. Thank you for your words. I love you, sir. Birthday.
Hey, how you doing, man? Just wanted to send this to you to celebrate you on this day, as well as all that you do. I love you, and all who actually you moving forward.
Our roots, our actual work are influenced by a group of elders responsible for much of the progress we enjoy today. As Mr. B says, the movement doesn't die because the struggle doesn't die. And as we continue to see, we still have some justice to gather for. That work continues in the teachings and experience this group of elders. What about Mr. Belafonte's life do you think it's important to lift in this time in his 4th year?
I remember in his living room,
and hearing about his meetings with he and Martin. I told him one time, you know, Harry, I may have made a mistake. What do you mean? He said, I've talked our people creating into a burning. So what should we do then? He said, firefight.
We were all part of the time doing the same work around justice.
Some things that would not have been accomplished in the movement have been for Harry Belafonte. Selma, it was Harry Belafonte, all those entertainers there.
It was often quoted that Belafonte and Martin King were the of this country because of what they did.
His kind of umbilical cord is you know what I'm saying? Umbilical cord that ties us and brings us all together.
Why was it important for Mr. Belafonte to bring the youth and the elders think about how to end child incarceration?
With the gathering came that picture of a young girl, 6-year-old girl who was being handcuffed, basically saying your work as elders is it's not over. You've been involved here. You may have talked with Dr. King. You may have done this. You may have been part of his work movement, but it's not over. There was Belafonte there giving voice to those.
For of us who are older, that we need to make sure that we give that space to folks, and the young folks also hear the stories, the suffering was happening. Places that many had been at, those are still need to be kept. All these given to us by Mr. all the steps that he took for that, and the elders before him.
So, Mr. Belafonte, the fight for civil rights never stopped. A deep breath, clear deep back into the. Did you ever think that when you were fighting, progress made during the times that you were in movement, that we would still be placed today?
I did not think that we would be in the situation that we're in now, because I thought things that had been accomplished and civil rights bills were passed, and behaviors on the part of people, were totally different.
What inspires you most about the current leaders and participants in the fight for justice?
And they understand the time that they're in this moment. They're able to take on that we were able to take on when they gone. We didn't take on climate global warming. We didn't take on issues like migration and immigration. We didn't take on those.
I admire these young people because they are able to large numbers, and I really like the multiracial company. No question about it.
Our message to young people is that you take care of yourself, your family. It's selfish to think about yourself.
We have been able to take genes and actually our own flavor, social media, hip hop, right? We do things similar to the way in which you all work, but we just add a wrinkle of ourselves onto it. Thank you for your wisdom, your teachings.
That panel was so powerful. I feel so fortunate that I even got the chance to do so much history in one place. And we have a chance to continue it for many generations by donating, gathering for justice. We can't do it without your help. What we are trying to do. We are asking folks who are able to match off for $94 in honor of Mr. You can donate right. Just text HB now to 4431. Our history is a thing. Mr. B has taught us that we have intergenerational conversations about the power of history. There are no people who can articulate this better than our very own living legend and hero, Diane Ash, and the president and CEO of the NAACP, Johnson.
In the mid-1960s, my former husband, Bevel, and I became friends with some students from Zimbabwe, and it was known as Southern Rhodesia. This mainly went to the University of Madison, and some attended University of Chicago. We decided we needed to have a national conference to explore what Zimbabwean students, some of us from the civil rights movement, could do just the liberation struggle in Southern Rhodesia. Every Rhodesia student studying in the United States attended the conference. We asked Harry Belafonte if he would finance the conference. Mr. B organized and performed a concert here in Chicago, raised the money to pay for the entire conference, and for the follow-up trip by 3 to carry a message from the conference freedom fighters in to become Zimbabwe. Harry Belafonte, the world a better place because you have been in it. Happy birthday.
Mr. B, birthday, and thank the legacy that you have provided. Eric Johnson, President and CEO of CP. 2013, when you came to Mississippi with Veterans of the Movement. And the story about Willie Blue helping you in
with Mississippi, and all that you have done to ensure the movement people is continuing. Your legacy have influenced people like Danny Glover, or a friend of mine, and someone who I continue the legacy that you have to ensure equal laws afforded to everyone, to make sure all of us in the diaspora are a human that's deserving of anyone, and to continue to fight for justice and prosperity. Happy birthday, and thank you.
The impact of Mr. B's connection between music and activism has inspired a new generation of artists to use their platforms to ignite social change. The next artist has certainly been inspired by the example Mr. B has set for the entire entertainment industry. Please welcome singer, songwriter, recording artist, Aloe Black.
Well, you can tell everybody, you can tell everybody, go ahead and tell everybody, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. You can tell everybody, yeah, you can tell everybody.
Dear Harry, I want to wish you a happy 94th birthday. Mr. B, you have been an inspiration to me and so many of us. Thank you so much for everything you do. We love you. Happy birthday, Harry. Thank you so much for all that you've done. This world was the same without you. Down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on the mountaintop, I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I have to leave a little girl in Kingstown. Sounds of laughter everywhere, and the dancing girls swing to and fro. I must declare my heart is there, though I'm from Maine to Mexico. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Down at that market you can hear ladies cry out while on the heads they bear. Ackee rice, saltfish are nice, and the rum is fine the time of year. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. We love you, B. Happy birthday.
Artists are the gatekeepers of truth. Artists are civilization's moral compass.
Violence against women is as dark as the dark night of the soul.
Our job is to reflect you.
Without the arts, we would never know who we are, what our history has been.
Our music says, ancestor, freedom, freedom.
Joy is the blues, is a song in cotton field or central booking.
The song is the truth teller.
Our music, like Fannie Lou Hamer says, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Artists are civilization's radical voice.
Major key alert! Oh, we go. Bag alert. DJ! I got the keys. I got the keys. I got the keys. I got the keys.
Bless up. Love and blessings to everybody. My name is Khaled, also known as DJ Khaled, and it's my great honor and pleasure to present the gatekeeper of Truth Award. Not only to a trailblazer, but a man I can family, a friend, brother, an inspiration, Sean Jay-Z Carter, the gatekeeper of Truth Award. Emphasize that artists' voices are powerful and necessary. Belafonte has used power and career to emphasize that it's our responsibility as artists to use our platform, make transformative social change in the world. In the spirit of Mr. B's legacy, Jay-Z modeled what it means to dedicate his time and energy, and not only to the craft, but he has also worked tirelessly and many behind the scenes to advocate criminal justice reform and ending violence in our communities and creating opportunities and making investments that will shift the whole world for generations. Jay-Z does this work from a place of love. He is never looking for a credit. He's only looking to work hand to hand with our people to make the world better for all our children. I am blessed to know I am proud of brother. And on behalf of the Gathering for Justice and Mr. Belafonte's legacy, I am honored to present Mr. Sean Jay-Z Carter, the gatekeeper of Truth Award. Bless up.
First off, Mr. Belafonte, that is about you. I'm honored to be honored on your birthday. Be humbled to be recognized as a gatekeeper. Yourself, Paul Robeson, and others, the original gatekeepers. You paved the road that we get to test out your artistry to fight racial injustice all over the world. And we too, everyone's an artist, truths in different ways. All gatekeepers that we must all keep out for the next generation. Personally, I love our relationship. It's grounded in transparent and holding each other to a high standard and respect. Thank you to Gathering for Justice and Mr. Belafonte. We love you.
Happy 94th birthday, Mr. B. Thank you for being an inspiration to all.
Our organization, One Hood, is a result of the wisdom investment of Mr. Harry Belafonte on our 15th service. Mr. B, blessing from the Almighty, your 94th birthday be one year.
Happy birthday, Belafonte. You know how much you mean to so many around the world, and you don't know how hard it is to surprise you, but I had to be surprised. I love you. Happy birthday. Many.
Hi, Dr. Bob, President and CEO of the California Endowment, Los Angeles. We are a social justice and foundation, private foundation. And in that spirit, congratulations to the extraordinary on his birthday.
Happy birthday, Harry. We love you. Thank you for everything for the future. And I'm going to say to you something you said years ago. I like noise. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, it's Pete Buttigieg. Birthday wishes for Belafonte. I am so fortunate to know you and so thankful for everything that you have done to make the world a better.
Mr. Belafonte, this is Harrison, Chair of the D, and I just wanted to happy 94th. Thank you for everything you have done and you will continue to do to bring justice to this great nation. Thank you, sir, and take care of yourself.
Paul Robeson said, artists, keepers of truth. You are an artist. Life's work, generations in our country and around the world to see that in our common humanity. You are a national. I wish you the best of birthdays.
Mr. B, you for using your gifts, taker for life, for culture, birthday. And may this celebrate you of the joy and life you have given to all of us.
Mr. Belafonte, I want to wish you an amazing birthday and thank you for believing in this next generation of good troublers who in every way to you.
Yo, Harry, we love you. If I had a hammer day. Yes, before 94, my brother. Mwah. You're the best, you.
Hi, happy birthday to my dear Harry. Wishing you whatever you wish.
We hope it all comes true. This is Kim Roscoe. We love you, Godfather.
The Delmses.
Happy birthday to my friend, my brother, Harry. He carries with him the wisdom of the boys, the courage of Robeson, the humanity of Martin, the soul of the Caribbean, and the majestic beauty of a Black man. For being uniquely you, my and noble brother. Happy birthday.
With ease of friendship, you unlock doors
in me that I might never found. I can't thank you enough for being alive, man.
Happy birthday, Harry. Thank you for your power, your beauty, your fortitude, and for inspiring and inciting us to discover the roads and dreams that are leading us to new, more habitable futures. You are our most important treasure.
Aloha, my brother, Mr. Harry Belafonte. How are you? I'm here to wish you a supreme happy day, happy Souls Day. And you can just see and archangels hovering all over you, so spirit. We are so thing that you and you have done and can do, which for compassion. Happy birthday. Enjoy the beautifulness that you have and that you are.
Common is a very special artist. Like Mr. Belafonte, he has been inspired to use his talents and art to speak life, power, justice into everything he touches. He has used his platform to advocate against mass incarceration, violence against Black and brown communities, and he has been a constant advocate for a more just society. The relationship he has with Mr. Belafonte is also special. And from the very inception of this gathering for Harry, the host committee knew that they had to invite him to join the celebration of someone who has inspired him to build a legacy of art, activism, and justice. I am so proud, honored, and elated to introduce Common.
Go, 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 and on the count of three. Go, 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 and count of three. Go, 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 on the count of three.
Happy birthday, Mr. B. I just want to say how much you mean to me, how much I love you, how much I appreciate you. When I first got a chance to connect with her, it was amazing. It was one of those moments where you like, I can't wait to tell my mother and everybody that I'm getting to meet Harry Belafonte. But it was your heart and your spirit that really made me know that I met somebody really special on the planet, just as a human being. The way you treated me and treated everybody around us, it's been an example of who you are as a person. Of course, your activism work and everything you've done, like on this planet, is, you know, it's changed so many of our lives. But for me to just get to bond with you as a little brother, you as an elder, and also just making me laugh. I'm grateful to have my life and want to say, celebrating you. Happy day, happy born day. God bless you, I love you. And I'm gonna give you this verse that we're thinking about, that I wanted to give for your birthday. It says, no justice, justification. We trust in God, but can't trust in the nation. The cusp of generations, searching for ventilation. If 2020 vision is any indication of where we are, where we've been, where do we go? American, ain't legible. Our rights are being left behind. In question times, they say invest in nine. I'm trying to rest my mind. The press be pressed to find stories about my kind, a suggested crime. Though many holler about justice reform, but won't put dollars where the hustler's born. You know our politicians, they love to perform. Acting and singing a government song. How they love America, you loving it wrong. We the people are becoming reborn. That's a verse for you. I know it ain't as good as your song, but hey, I love you. Happy birthday.
94 years ago, a legend, and that legend has impacted a whole host of who consider him family. Thrilled to have his children and his children's children share their love for Miss Fonte tonight. Please, Belafonte family, and singing birthday and birthday wishes to their hero.
We come from the fire, living in fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
dear Dad.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Harry.
Happy birthday to you.
Belafonte sitting in a tree, eat up some mango, seeing what he can see. First came The Gathering and Sankofa, two organizations from Mr. B, don't you? Your wisdom, generosity have been a great gift for all us to go out and make a full shift. Happy birthday, Dad, and many, many more. Wish you all the best. Love you to your core.
Happy birthday, Dad. Amazing. And you for motivating all of us, everybody to celebrate you tonight, to keep us pushing forward to make the mischief so wonderfully start. Love you and
Happy birthday. I don't know what's more crazy, the fact that you're 94 or the fact that I've been in this family years. I'm only 28. Thank you for everything throughout this. I cannot be lucky I've been to travel with you and learn so much from you. Congratulations on everything, Gathering for Justice, for the world, and for all of us. Happy birthday. Love you.
We love you, Dad.
We love you. I'm here. Just wanted to say a happy birthday and thank you for everything you've done for our family and the entire world, that you have taught us we loved, supported, respected, and that we can to everybody. For all the wonderful memories to come. Love you.
Happy Dad from the Belafonte Myers. Congratulations on getting both vaccine shots. We look forward to hopefully being with you next year for your 5th. But for today, a wonderful birthday that we love you.
Now, the moment you all been waiting for.
Please give a warm welcome, man of the night and his beloved wife,
Miss Harry
and Pamela
Belafonte.
You go. Thank everybody. Thank you much for this celebration. I'm deeply, deeply touched. Carmen, you and my baby.
Hi, Mr. B.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing well. I hope you feel so loved. Happy birthday. We love you.
Thank you so much for this. It's overwhelming.
Yes.
I expected to that. I expect to be overwhelmed by it. What a thoughtful thing you have done for me. Amazing. So much.
Of course, Mr. B, there's going to be a few prizes. I want to read to you some words for dear friend Leonard Peltier. His message saying, I send you a short message of Galatians on your birthday. Wow, 4 years old. I'm very proud of you, brother. I want to again thank you for the year support. You have proved over and over and over that you're a real friend. I hope a lifelong like yours so that I could at least do how you've done to help your and the peoples around the world. In my eyes and heart, great man, and you're gonna go down in history. As a brother, take care in the spirit of Crazy Horse Peltier. Mr. B, there are so many that love you, that have come to celebrate you and to your legacy. Thank you so much for yourself and the younger gen. I have a nice for you. I want to call in mother from the movement, Lee Anderson. Mr. B, he is a fellow brother. He is a fellow New Yorker. He's a singer. He's a philanthropist. Lee sings R&B. Anderson, welcome. Come on, let's kick it.
Hey, thank you so much, Carmen. Honored to be doing this for the legendary, the one and only Mr. Harry Belafonte. Wherever you're right now, feel free to rock with me, Mr. This is for you. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, me. We love you. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the movement. Back to you, sis.
Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you, Mr. B. We love you again. It is such an honor to do that. Thank you to everybody part of making this great event success. We were so fortunate to have sponsors, people on the host committee to help us, our beloved staff, our production team who pulled this event in 6 weeks. I want to thank our MCs, Tiffany Ish and Leonard, Sharp to God, McAvee, who did a wonderful job. I especially want my friends from Forever Media, impressive teamwork, and for making this event possible. I also want to acknowledge Denise Mapano at the Gather for Justice for her incredible. Thank you, Denise, and everyone who invested by joining us tonight, and those of generously contributed to the program. We've raised about $170,000. So we especially want to thank our sponsor, Hope and Robert Smith family, H Frontline Solution, National Basketball Players Foundation. With your, we'll be able to do our current programming, relaunch and expand Justity, launch a platform for our campaign to end children and youth leaders throughout our Troublemakers for Liberty Fellowship. All of more is what you are all supporting time you invest in our work. The Gathering for Justice is able to be as bold, consistent as we are recent. That is what Mr. Belafonte, he funded this movement so that organizers serve the community without, whether bailing out organizers or footing the bill on Washington, put up every step of the way. It's not for you to do the same and show young people and movement leaders on the front of this work. Text HB9 to 4321 or our website to make your contribution. Thank you again and fighting. Like Asada said, we have nothing but our chains. I'm back over to our host, Tiffany, to close us out. Thank you, everybody.
In the silence, I just them die live. They say you living wrong, yeah, you with your eyes open. So I just question eyes open. Oh, beautiful skies, I just made a telling children.
This birthday gathering, Mr. Belafonte, has been on behalf of the gathering for Mr. Belafonte, friends, and the host committee. We want it all from the bottom of our heart for being here tonight. There was nothing we wanted to do more than to honor a person we deeply respect.
This birthday celebration was loved by the people who organized. We want to give a special to the host committee members, Carmen, Breaker, Ira Gill, Gay Teresa Johnson, Jason Kennedy, Mike, Carmen Perez Jordan, T. Mallory, Softstock, and Brian. Thank you to all of the entertainment activists, faith leaders, music actors, civil rights leaders, and agents who answered the wish, Mr. Harry Belafonte, a very happy 94th B-Day. And a salute to the Gathering for Justice staff and our productions. Thank you.
Tonight, we fundraise millions of dollars on behalf of the legacy and supporting criminal justice reform. Whether you gave $5, $94, or $10,000, we want to say thank you. There is still time to add to the Gathering for Justice journey to freedom by texting HB94 4431 to make your donation.
Before we go, we want to give a salute to all of our and congratulations to all of our award winners. Give a big thank you to our vision sponsor, the Hope F. Smith Foundation, our change agent sponsor, TVH, and sponsors, Frontline Solutions, and National Basketball Association Foundation. We want to give a big thank you to partner Title and each single person who made this birthday possible.
In the words of Mr. Harry Belafonte, each and every one of you has the power, the will, and the capacity to make a different world and live. True words have never been spoken. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you hashtag Gathering and following for justice on social media. Thank you all so much and good night. Bye.
Do you believe? I believe. Cause I believe.
Be patient. Your children carried away. Be patient. Rest with our hands on the way. Strip. Quítale, no sé. Strip away.
house would lay the key. And they asked me what was the agenda. It dawned on me that the agenda really was with them to find the agenda.
We've been fighting for a long time, and the battle ain't won. We've been fighting for a long time, and the battle ain't won. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe we will. I believe, I believe, I believe that we will win. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe we will. I believe, I believe, I believe that we will.
It's my song. It started with a vision to keep the kids out of prison, so he convened the youth and then they begin on the mission to find the agenda and change the current conditions in the spirit of king. So we moving in that tradition. The movement is of conviction, righteousness and truth. We fighting for what's right to improve the life of the youth. Still the coppers to shoot unarmed men with their hands up. It's time for all the women, all the men to stand up for justice and become a part of the league. I know that we gon' win. I swear to God I believe that we gon' be free. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'ma keep fighting with every breath that I breathe. I believe,
I believe, I believe,
I believe,
I believe, I believe.
Do you believe?
I believe, I believe.
Do you believe?
I believe that we will win.
I believe.
I believe, I believe.
Do you believe?
I believe, I believe.
'Cause I believe.
I believe, I believe.
Do you believe?
I believe that we will win. Be patient, they say, while they see our children carried away. Be patient, they say. They murder us with our hands up, stripped away, stripped away. No quita la inocencia, stripped away. Nunca para la violencia.
Esto es para todo el mundo entero, de vuelta fundamental de cero. Mi madre me decía desde eterno que nunca vendiera mi alma por el dinero. No hay justicia en el gobierno.
Work all night and a drink on. Stack back till the morning. Come, Mr. Tally me banana. Daylight come, me one go. Come, Mr. Tally me banana. Daylight come, me one go. Live 6 foot, 8 foot. Daylight come and go. 6 foot, 7, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and go. Day-o. Daylight come and go.
I believe, believe.
Do you believe?
Believe, I believe.
Do you believe?
I believe that we will win.
I believe.
Believe, I believe.
Do you believe?
I believe, I believe.
'Cause I believe.
I believe, I believe.
Do you believe?
I believe that we will win. Be patient, they say, while they see our children carried away. Be patient, they